When we're talking about artificial intelligence, we're almost talking about the thing behind the thing. Do you remember that commercial that used to be like, we're GE, we bring good things to life? They weren't the front thing that we interacted with, they were the thing that made that thing good. And that's kind of what artificial intelligence is all about, is that it just becomes this, whether it's computing power at speed and scale, or it's the ability of being able to leverage technology that is artificial intelligence to start mimicking the 5 human senses, right? So if you take a look around us, artificial intelligence can now see better than humans, it can now hear better than humans, it can now speak better than humans, it can now touch better than humans, and can manipulate physical objects in many cases better than humans. We can see that in surgical practice and in the medical field. We can see that in our warehouses and our factories, where it is that we've got robots that are AI mediated, that are able to do literally the heavy lifting. We can see that with the voice and with the listening. We can hear that with natural language processing that's happening with a lot of these devices, whether you're talking about Siri, or you're talking about Cortana, or you're talking about an Alexa device. We're talking to inanimate objects. I mean, it's kind of like Mickey Mouse and Fantasia come to life, where everything around us suddenly is interacting with us in our environment. Those are all things that are being animated, if you will, through artificial intelligence. And if you think about it, it's artificial intelligence being able to, again, mimic one or more of the 5 human senses. And so artificial intelligence is going to continue to advance in those domains, and very quickly, by integrating those senses together. So we're actually starting to see some computing platforms that are AI driven that actually start to do taste and smell as well. And then what are the applications of those in the real world? So what does that mean to us as learning leaders and to our teams within an organization? What does that mean to roles? Is it going to create additional jobs? Does that mean there's going to introduce new roles to the team? Does that also mean that it's a threat, that there are possibilities that it's going to not only disrupt us, but deconstruct us, right? Take some things from us that are familiar, that we make a living at right now, quite frankly. It's going to go over to the machines. Yes. And so one of the ways that I appeal to people to really think about it is, what are the tasks that you as a human being do within your role within the L&D function right now that have to do with sight, that have to do with listening, that have to do with speaking, that have to do with touch? Later on, we're going to also introduce taste and definitely introduce smell. But when we can start to see that artificial intelligence has mastered these senses and moved beyond human capability, then the tool that is going to take over those tasks using those senses that you as the human use today is going to be deconstructed and given to the machines, because it can excel at it at a cheaper cost. So what does that mean to us? Well, specifically in the learning function, that means that there are already technologies that are out there that can actually listen in some ways better and read better and faster and analyze what it is that it's read faster than we have. Well, okay, isn't that part of instructional design? I mean, isn't that part of like meeting with a subject matter expert, being able to conduct the interview, doing the analysis, doing the front-end analysis, being able to figure out, sift through the information that the subject matter experts gives us, being able to assess what material then needs to move forward, what are the learning objectives, what are the performance objectives, what content are we going to need in order to then develop? Well, we have instructional design tools now that are actually AI-driven, that can take the instructional design process from something that evolves by humans over months and actually take that down to minutes. Because the machine can read, the machine can listen, and the machine can now write.